Hi guys, it's me. I was wanting to go over some more about environmental and economic benefits since there aren't a lot of videos out there that bring you the accurate impact. So the environment is about our natural world and the relationship of human activity on that world. And so that ranges from stuff going on in our backyards to local parks to huge national parks and preserves. So, as you can see, U.S. the U.S. was the leader in national parks. We created that idea. So, whereas Europe became Europe thousands of years before us, the U.S. is a fairly new country. And so this was really our idea, and it's been called America's best idea. So it is something that we have given to the world. And right now, unfortunately, we are ducking that sort of impact. We're not being progressive environmentally at all. In fact, we kind of are denying climate change during a time in which there's mega forest fires out in California. So that doesn't really make sense. But in an ideal world and understanding our views of nature and what they are, we have been a leader throughout history on this. So we originally created national parks in the 1800s to preserve natural features within parks in perpetuity, which means forever. So as it stands right now, the national park system has 419 units with over 85 million acres. 4.5 million acres are in oceans, lakes, and reservoirs, 85,000 miles of rivers and streams, and 43,000 miles of shoreline. So we preserve a lot of natural features within our national park system. And then you talk about the millions of other acres that are in state parks and land conservancies and other nonprofits. So we do conserve a great deal of land. And the reason that we do that is so that we always will have a commitment to the environment. The more that we participate in outdoor rec, the bigger our understanding of the natural environment. Then we have a bigger commitment to protect and to be stewards of our environment. And ultimately, we'll have a better environment overall. Again, politics has to play a role in that. And so we have to have leaders that understand this for this to be as highly thought of as it should be. Preserving land is our utmost public health and safety concern. It's been proven that living near parks, woods, or green spaces increase lifespans, reduce stress, reduce depression and anxiety, improve air quality and soundscapes, provide more thermal comfort, meaning the temperature is better. The more trees we have, the more shade and the cooler the temperature. Therefore, more thermal comfort. We have better water quality when we preserve land, and we have more ability to be active in our lifestyles. So we can bike and hike and have less cars and everything else. So this is great. The main issue is that people with low incomes or a number of children oftentimes live the farthest away from these spaces. And so often our minority people have the less access to our outdoors and thereby benefit the least amount. And this is something that has to change because, namely, as a country, our makeup has been changing. So we went from being predominantly white to now we are pretty close to being a 50-50 split between your white European ancestry and mix of others between Black and African American or Latino, we've got a lot of people that we need to engage in the outdoors in order to save them. But ultimately, Black Lives Matters and other social movements, environmental justice do need to play a role in this, because this is a matter of public health. When people can live better, it's less impact on our economy. It's less impact on the negative issues in life like crime and poverty, and the better off people are. So better environments equal better lifestyles for everybody. The economic benefits also rely on the environment. Much of our tourism dollars and much of our recreation dollars occur in natural settings. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. So the economic impact of recreation is huge, particularly outdoor recreation. And it can be both direct and indirect. So spending money on the exact activity in which you're going to do. So say you're going to go skiing, buying that ski pass, that is direct. But then the indirect economic impacts are like travel to the ski lodge, so gas, food, renting a hotel, and that sort of thing are the indirect impacts. And those are just as great, if not more so. The more that we have recreation impacting our economy, we actually have less absenteeism at work and lower healthcare costs because people are healthier. So the more that people recreate, the healthier they are, the better our economy in the long run, and the better our healthcare system. So again, people are more productive when they're relaxed or happier. So when you've gone outside and gotten the benefits from being out in the environment, you're in better shape. There's lower healthcare costs. That's a pretty cool thing. So let's check out the actual dollars of economic benefits. We have outdoor rec, which is an almost $900 billion industry, which creates 7.6 million jobs, brings in $65 billion in federal tax dollars and $60 billion in state and local taxes. So the economic impact of outdoor rec can't be understated. It is huge. It is one of the biggest fields in our country. And it, that is something we should all respect and highlight. Our national parks. In 2018, there were 318 million visits. People spent $20 billion in the local area, created 329,000 jobs, and then contributed $40.1 billion to the national economy. So that includes taxes and a multiplier effect. So that's both direct and indirect spending. So our national parks are huge. Local parks and rec, also huge. $154 billion in 2015, 1.1 million jobs. Agencies spent $23 billion on capital projects. That is all our carpenters, our construction companies, our designers, our architects, all being put to work. And they added $64 billion to the economy and created 378,000 jobs through those capital projects. So our local parks and rec are just as significant, if not more so, than our national ones. The national ones are lesser because they take longer to get to, whereas the local ones are right here in your neighborhood. And then, like, you compare that to what is thought of as being another big industry, and it is a big industry, golf, 84.1 billion and 1.9 million jobs across the duration of the US. So local parks and rec, much bigger, national parks, and outdoor rec, which is huge. So please take into account these benefits when you're looking at what makes the outdoor rec field great, because the environmental and the economic benefits can't be understated for what they give us.